All right, welcome everyone. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You good? Okay, can we have roll call, please?
Shoemaker.
Here.
Vaughn.
Here.
Poland. Rossiter.
Here.
Kahn.
Here.
Kellogg.
Here. Okay, we'll start with our community calendar. October 25th is coming. We have Millersburg Trick or Treat from 4 to 6. If you are participating in that, please turn on your light. Then for all of our residents and friends, 21 and over, Boo in the Berg will be that evening as well. The Berlin Christmas Open House will be November 6th through 8th. Mary Millersburg is coming November 14th and 15th. And on the 15th, the Victorian House is opening, and this year's theme is the Brightman Family Christmas. The Brightmans owned the Victorian House in 1900, and so every room will be 1900 Brightman decorated, and Santa will be at the Victorian House that day as well. So those are the things that we have coming up. I have one person here who, Dave Schrock, said that he would like a very short discussion on his interest in downtown Millersburg and Tree City. And his action he would like is to add new people to Tree City. Dave?
Thank you.
Sure. Can you come up and give your name and address, please?
Dave Schrock, in case everybody missed me last week, or last meeting. I live in Millersburg, and I've been here for a long time on this corner. And I hated to miss the meeting last time, but I didn't get invited. So I'm here tonight to try and clear things up. I hope the people that were here that night would show up and be part of Tree City. I do not have to be part of Tree City. I do not own land in town. I do not have a business in town. And I'm not running for office. But what I'd like to do is get some new people in that tree committee. Every time I went to the tree committee, oh, we're gonna put new trees up, we're gonna put different ones in, but they're not doing it. The reason I kept stirring things up, I'd like to get an answer before the new sidewalks are ready to go. Somebody needs to get in there before the contractors meet up and say, hey, we want so many trees, this is the kind of tree we want, but you need to bring that to council as a package. And don't bring it and sit here and tell them what you want now. You've got about 6 months maybe before the sidewalks come in. But get your point across to the council and to the people, and I'm going to back out of this package. I got it started because people told me the trees were a mess. They were making a mess. Couldn't get out of their cars. So I kept probing the tree committee, and nobody gave me any answers. They wouldn't trim trees, they wouldn't do anything. So what I'm looking for, Chad's ahead of the tree committee now, not by choice, but by chance, because there's nobody else there. If you want on it, talk to the mayor, talk to Chad, and I'll gladly step out of the road. Like I said, I have absolutely nothing in the downtown area. I've been here and helped do a lot of things for this town, and this is not one of them, just to make it look ugly. So that's about all I got to say tonight. If somebody wants to ask me more questions, I'll sit down with you anytime. Thank you.
Thank you, Dave. You are always invited, and you're always welcome to come to council, always, just so you know. Council did vote to have trees in the downtown, and so that we are working on placement and all of that. We have one more person. Mr. Hovis is here. His item for discussion is the pending application to open a retail marijuana store. The action he wishes council to take is reject the application. Mr. Hovis, could you give us your name and address, please?
Thank you, Your Honor. My name is Rob Hovis. I live at 188 North Washington Street. I appreciate the opportunity to address the council on the pending ballot question of approving a business to sell marijuana in our community. My understanding is that the ballot question is non-binding, meaning that this council will still have the final decision as to whether marijuana is approved for sale in Millersburg. I am very opposed to the selling of this or any other kind of harmful drug in our community. American society has become conflicted on this question in recent years. On the one hand, we send celebrities into our schools to urge our children and teenagers to just say no to drugs. But on the other hand, we are frequently placing on the ballot initiatives for the citizens to approve the sale of drugs in our communities and our state. Talk about sending a mixed message to our youth. For the past 27 years, I have taught a weekly Bible study at the Mansfield State Prison. I teach a 34-week course each year from September to May, with usually 15 to 20 men enrolled. During these 3 decades, a total of over 400 inmates have taken this course. I never asked the men to talk about their criminal past, but I assure them that they are welcome to bring it up voluntarily when they find it relevant to the subject of the lesson. Of those inmates who choose to openly discuss their past, nearly all of those who were convicted of drug offenses have said that marijuana was the gateway drug, which started them on the downward spiral to increasingly more dangerous substances, such as methamphetamine, cocaine, and heroin. Marijuana was the first step on that road. An older brother or cousin they admired as a child gave them their first dose of marijuana as a means of recruiting them into their drug-selling gang. I have heard this story over and over. And this council is considering an application to open a retail store for marijuana in Millersburg. What are we thinking? This is not Chicago. This is not Cleveland. This is not Portland. This is Millersburg, one of the most peaceful and conservative villages in the entire Midwest. This is a community which takes pride in wholesome family values and a safe atmosphere in which our children can grow up. And we are actually considering an application to open a store in our town from which drugs will be sold. I have heard the arguments put forth by the marijuana industry, that it is not addictive, that it is not harmful, that it is purely for medicinal use. I hope that the members of this council do not actually believe that propaganda. If you think it is not harmful, talk to any number of Americans whose loved ones have been killed on the highway by a driver under the influence of marijuana, or whose coworker was injured or died by the negligence of an employee under the influence of marijuana. It is naive in the extreme to think that the only use which will be made of the stuff stolen in that store will be for medicinal purposes, or that the form of the substance has been altered somehow to be safe. If it is a medication, it should be distributed through pharmacies by doctor prescription. Marijuana is responsible for 12% of emergency room visits resulting from suicide attempts. It is linked with increased risk of schizophrenia. It is a chemical depressant, causing slower mental response and thought process. It slows the brain's ability to track moving objects. It is second only to alcohol in traffic fatalities caused by substance impairment. Once the substance leaves the store, it is impossible to control to whom it is given. Do you really think that none of it will find its way into the hands of our youth? If we open this store in our village, do you think the number of traffic accidents caused by marijuana will increase or decrease? I hope that the voters of Millersburg will send a clear signal that they do not want such a source of danger to our youth as well as adults to be opened in this village. But even if the residents vote their approval, I hope that you will take note of the fact that you were elected to provide leadership for our community, even when that requires standing against the tide of public opinion. And it is hardly an act of leadership to expose our residents to a product which is so well documented as harmful in itself and as a gateway drug to far worse things. I appeal to you, do not go down in history as the council which opened Pandora's box in Millersburg. And I have some documents which I would like to leave with you. And if the village council members would like copies, then I'm assuming that the village can make copies of those. This is from the Centers of Disease Control on the impact of cannabis on the brain. This is entitled More Reasons Why States Should Not Legalize Marijuana. Key substance use and mental health indicators in the United States. And drug abuse warning network findings from drug-related emergency room visits 2022. Who should I?
Give this right to Bobby.
I'll be happy to answer questions if there are any.
Are there any questions?
Thank you, Rob.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, moving on. Can we have a motion to suspend the reading of the minutes, please?
Second.
We'll have to do that twice. We have 2 sets of minutes.
Okay, I'm sorry. For the regular September 22nd, we'll start there.
Okay. Pullen. Hofstadter.
Aye.
Shoemaker.
Aye.
Vaughn.
Aye.
Khan.
Aye.
Kellogg.
Aye. Okay, then we'll make a motion to suspend the reading of the minutes from 10:06, the special meeting.
So moved. Second.
Pullen.
Second.
I think we've got Vaughn for the second. Pullen. Vaughn.
Aye.
Shoemaker.
Aye.
Hofstadter.
Aye.
Khan.
Aye.
Kellogg.
Aye. Are there any additions or corrections for either the regular or the special session? Hearing none, can we have a motion to approve the minutes of September 22nd?
Make a motion, Khan. Second.
Khan.
Aye.
Hofstadter.
Aye.
Kellogg.
Aye.
Pullen. Vaughn.
Aye.
Shoemaker.
Aye.
Okay, and can we have a motion to approve the minutes from the special meeting of 10:06?
Second. Pullen. Kellogg. Khan.
Aye.
Hofstadter.
Aye.
Vaughn.
Aye.
And Shoemaker.
Aye.
Okay, bill resolution 2025 I'm not sure.
26.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's okay. Are there any questions on the bills totaling $264,276.93? Hearing no questions, can we have a motion to pay the bills?
I so move. Shoemaker?
I'll second. Khan.
Shoemaker.
Aye.
Khan.
Aye.
Kellogg.
Aye.
Hofstadter.
Aye.
Pullen. And Vaughn.
Aye.
Okay, Nate.
All right, on October 1st, the Design Review Board and Planning and Zoning met. They approved the signage request for Millersburg Christian Church. No update on the Worcester Road or sidewalk, downtown sidewalk project, other than that project is in the design phase. Worcester Road water line, we're just working on grant application prep for late October application for OPWC. Airport Park, the equipment was, they called Tuesday after our last meeting, showed up Wednesday, had it in, and they were in and out in no time.
It looks really nice.
Yeah, it turned out great. They're a well-oiled machine. They were literally half a day putting it in, half a day mulching and putting the border up, and they were gone. It was impressive to watch. So with some money we have left over in the park fund, we're setting up a time to meet with Millersburg Electric to look at replacing the light control timer on the pickleball sports court. The switch or the timer itself doesn't work anymore. There's some wiring issues there. Replace bulbs, fixtures that need fixed or need replaced. Potentially all of them, depending on the cost. We've noticed there's been an uptick in use at night. Those lights are being used. We'd like them to be safe if they're going to be using them. So I have no idea on cost for any of that yet, but just something that we looked at to see if it's a possibility.
Would the new fixtures be LEDs?
Yes, yes. Yeah, they're very similar to what you see AEP putting on street poles
Okay.
now, kind of the Cobra style hooded fixture that really directs the light well. They're aimable and you can move the fins to really prevent any shadowing. Yeah, I'll get back to you before we do anything on that though, just something we're looking at.
What time do those lights go on?
Well, now they're just an on-off, there's no,
Oh,
the
I
timer
see.
function doesn't work at all.
What time would be the projected time for them to go on?
I don't think we'd wanna go past 10 maybe
Yeah,
with
probably not.
neighbors close by there.
Yeah.
I think you'd wanna, probably around 10 o'clock.
Have you had any comments from neighbors about noise? I mean, in a lot of places,
No.
the noise of
No,
pickleball is
haven't,
becoming an issue, but, okay,
yeah.
I'm just curious.
I don't know if there's been
Not
calls
that
or,
I'm aware
yeah, okay. Just wanna pass along, Blake Judson passed his Class 1 water. He now has Class 1 water and Class 1 wastewater. Clay Shepler passed his Class 1 wastewater. That's his first license, so great job to both of them. Those aren't easy tests. Once they actually physically hold their license, they'll be eligible to get their raise per the ordinance. And then also, you should have seen Steve McKinney on the bill resolution. He's taken the CDL training through Buckeye Career Center. Worked out really well. We were able to get him in there. Began October 6th, I believe, was the first day. He's going back to school for a couple weeks here. That's his full-time gig right now. And then that'll get him ready for the test, and hopefully that'll go as well. One Ohio contacted us. Actually, Omega contacted us that One Ohio, it's time to renew our appointments. Bob, you're currently the rep on One Ohio. You want to continue?
No,
You don't want to continue?
there's nothing that we can be involved in with it. They want, they would build a facility that we would have to staff. We can't do that. There's really, with Wayne Homes, that's where everything goes. So it's really nothing for us.
Well, my understanding, we have to appoint reps to the board, though. They wanted a board member, an appointment and an alternate, in case.
Nobody wanted to do it the last time. I guess I'll do it again then.
I'm willing or Chad, I don't know that it has to be an elected official, just somebody to represent the village.
Would you prefer not to, or are you okay with that? It's up to you,
To
Bob.
me, it's really a waste of time.
Okay.
You drive to New Philly, they were gonna hold it at the other counties, but it was so far for some people that they decided to do all of them in New Philly.
Oh,
So it's a big region
Right,
that, yeah.
okay,
so,
okay. Would you rather Nate and
I
Chad
would-
just take?
right, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay, that's fine. Is
Can we
that
get a
okay with you?
motion on that,
Yeah.
just to make it official?
Unless there's somebody else that wants to serve on that.
You're welcome to come along when we.
No, not everybody did that.
You'll see a beautiful council chamber.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
it is.
I'll make a motion to approve of the appointment of Nathan and Chad to that committee.
Okay, Brad, we'll put you down for second. Devon made the
Oh,
motion.
okay.
So Poland, Khan,
Aye.
Kellogg, Hassiter,
Aye.
Vaughn,
Aye.
Shoemaker.
Aye.
The last thing I have is we have a proposal from Envision. This is the outfit that was working with us on the mobile home park initially, giving us ideas on potential funding sources, that kind of thing. So we talked to them about a housing study. They came back with the proposal that was in the packet. Just wanted to see what your thoughts were on that. Open it up for discussion. Kelly might have some more.
I did talk to the commissioners, because this study will be for all of the west. It'll be for Millersburg, Killbuck, Glenmont, Nashville. It'll be the entire western part of the county. And so they'll do a study on what kind of housing we need where. Also, there's a new 501c3 Kime Cares that is interested in being involved in this as well. So I would like to take this proposal to the commissioners and see if they are interested in helping us. It's going to benefit the commissioners, it's gonna benefit Keim, it's gonna benefit Nashville, it's gonna benefit Killbuck. I think it's gonna benefit all of us, and so I kinda like to meet with the commissioners and see if they're interested in helping to pay for this, and then sit down maybe with some elected officials from those other towns and let them know that, you know, this is what we're looking at, and I just wanted to know what you guys thought about that. I know that Keim Cares, she said, I met with her and she said that they are interested in this as well, and they would be willing to pay some for this. So that's why we're bringing it to you. The grant that we had received would not cover this, which is why we're bringing it to you now. They wanted us to give them 3 buildings in the downtown that they could then look at for housing, business, for just those 3 buildings, and we explained to them that that is not what we were looking for. We want a housing study that'll give council some kind of direction when people come in and want to put in an apartment building or whatever. And so they said, okay, well that's not what this is. So that's why we're bringing this to you, because we got all this information, and it's going to be $20,000 for the entire thing.
And there's some, obvious, you know, there's some potential project sites around the village specifically that we've talked about, the school property that could be repurposed, that it'd be nice to have some kind of a report saying, well, here's where the gaps are, here's what's needed, here's what's not needed, based on what they're proposing to do in here.
I think it'll help the planning and zoning board as well, to be able to say, well, we have this paper here that says this is what we
Yeah.
need versus this is what we don't need. So I think it's going to be beneficial.
Wasn't that what we were supposed to get from Pogmeyer? When they did,
It didn't get into that detail, no. I mean, I think we were hopeful it would, but it didn't. It was very broad.
waste of money.
I appreciate you reaching out to the commissioners, because I know that that's part of the county is involved in this. So, yeah, I guess it'd be interesting to see what kind of feedback they get, and we can kind of revisit it.
And
Right.
how much everybody's gonna
Yeah,
put in. I
absolutely.
mean, I don't think we should put the brunt of it in. We should be.
Well,
putting-
when it's going to benefit the entire
Yeah.
West, yeah, I agree.
And we keep talking about, you know, we have need for housing, but let's get specifics.
I know. So is everyone okay with that direction? I'll go talk to the commissioners and we'll revisit this and then maybe sit down with these other towns and. Okay.
Good.
All right, sounds good.
That's all I had, thank you.
Thank you. Chief?
Sent out my quarterly report, should have been with everybody's packet. Just a couple other things. Daniel Baker completed his promotional probation for sergeant on September 23rd. Haven't had any problems, he's stepped up, he's doing a good job. And the other thing is Dorian Lehman, he's my newest patrol officer. He submitted a letter of resignation. His last day will be October 23rd. And that is all I have.
I would like to ask you some questions. So on the, report you gave us, so like, when I counted, so you have traffic stops, and then I went through, so I have OVI, driving under suspension, expired plates, things that I know are traffic related, and it added up to like 192. So when it says 574, are there a lot of warnings being given out?
Yep.
That's a lot of warnings. Secondly, you and I had a talk after the last council meeting, and I told you that I'd been following what was going on in Shreve. So I asked you about when the last time there was an evidence audit done here, and you were gonna get back to me at this meeting.
The last time there was one done,
Yeah.
I still don't have the answer. There's one.
So I'm going to be
now.
asking council that I would like us to have an evidence
Did you
audit.
hear him?
What?
There's one being.
Now
We're in
you
the
are?
process.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay, I'm
yeah, we're
sorry.
in the process of doing one right now.
So,
Matt met with an audit group and
Okay.
we're in process.
well, I wasn't, he was gonna stop, so I didn't get the answer
Yeah.
yet. I wanted you to tell me that tonight. I'd asked you to, and you were gonna finished, so I didn't, sorry I interrupted you. But I'm glad I asked because I wasn't told that till I asked. So we do have an audit being done.
An internal audit done, yes.
Who's doing it?
Sergeant Baker and Sergeant Markley.
And that's sufficient?
For me, it is.
Okay. Will we get a report then, or?
I mean, I guess if you're wanting one.
Yeah, I'd like a
think that's
report.
not
I think we
anything
should have,
normally-
when I followed what happened, I want us to do things right.
We did have an outside group come in and look at everything.
Okay.
And they were pretty happy with what they had seen.
Okay.
So I'm confident that
Okay.
whatever we have is gonna be just fine.
And they're scheduled to go to the class that Jeff went to.
Yes.
They're scheduled to go 21st and 22nd of this month, or 22nd, 23rd. I could be wrong on the date, but
Okay.
like next week,
Okay.
to go to that, and then they'll implement some of the things from there. But when I talked to the auditors, they made it clear to me that what is put out at this class is not set in stone as far as this is the absolute way to do it. Being smaller agencies, you do things a little bit differently, so.
Chief, can you explain, I think I have a pretty good idea of what it is, but to the people that are listening in, what an evidence audit is?
Verify the evidence is there and the tracking of it, that we have it listed as active, which is still like in processing, not in processing, but it's still an active piece of, the case is not disposed of, the evidence not due to be returned, things like that, so.
Well, and I know from, obviously there's no secret, my husband's a defense attorney. So I know that we've seen in cases in Coshocton, this kind of does it different. Where after a while, evidence does get destroyed. So there's evidence gets destroyed after a while. That doesn't just sit forever in.
After the case is disposed of.
Well, not a year later, so there could be certain things that they don't just sit forever. That evidence
Right.
has to be destroyed and it has to, there's a judge.
Eventually, yeah.
Right,
yes.
right.
As
It
long
can't
as the
just sit-
case, as long as the case is not active.
Right,
If the
right.
case is
Well,
still
yeah, I
a
know
pending
that.
case,
Right,
it's not going anywhere.
right. So I appreciate, I didn't hear back from you, you didn't tell me, but I appreciate you telling me tonight.
Anything else?
That's good.
Okay, thank you, Chief.
Oh, I had one more thing, I'm sorry. So, what are we gonna do about, the traffic and somebody getting hit and,
Doing the same thing we were doing.
can we put a police car up there just for deterrence? Can somebody sit sometimes in front of the in front, I'm gonna tell you a couple things. The day before my friend was hit, Jeff almost got hit in the crosswalk, and we are careful. We walk across, I don't know how, I mean, Tom would probably, over the course of how many times I've come to the council meetings, before I was on here, even concerned about the safety of people walking all around downtown. I mean, the mayor addressed it when we went through you addressed it at the last council meeting. So it's ironic that was addressed at the it's in our minutes that she addressed what was going on up there, and then that happens. I understand that a police wouldn't necessarily have been there that day, but a police presence can be a deterrent. And the day after that accident happened, I walked from the courthouse across the street. A vehicle literally I had the right of way, was literally edging its way into the crosswalk, guy with a truck and a horse trailer. And he's wanting to go, and I'm trying to get across, and he waves at me, and I see what he's doing, and he's getting ready to turn right on red. And I said, you cannot turn right on red here. And he did it anyway. So, I understand that the police cannot be there all the time, but there can be deterrence. There can be a car, if they see, after a while, if you find out, I've heard the thing, we don't want to be a speed trap. I'm not saying that. But if a car's parked up there once in a while and people get used to that there might be a police, people will slow down. There's a reason that a police presence can send a message that there might be a police sitting there might be a police there. I don't want somebody getting killed up there. And it's, people aren't obeying the laws. They're going through the red lights. One car goes and four more go. We've got to do something. I will not accept that we can't do anything about that. I will not accept that. We are lucky that woman didn't die.
I talked to the commissioners and they said that our police officers can sit up at the old BP in the parking
Okay.
area. So they all know that now. I talked with Chief about that, and yeah, I agree with you. And I did talk to her, and she said that there was as soon as the light turned green, he floored
I've
it.
talked to her too.
And so, I mean, people they're on their phones, it's awful. People need to pay attention in the downtown, and I know that that's not the first time, it probably won't be the last time, but I agree that we need to do something, because we can't have people dying in the downtown. So we're gonna work on that.
So if a more police presence can be, I mean, honestly, there's other small towns I've gone to that I've seen, no offense, shout out to Sugar Creek, you see a cop there all the time when you go through there. So you slow down, you know he's gonna be around somewhere. Danville, I mean, I'm not saying, but they've got to get the message that there might be one real close, but we've gotta do something, because this isn't acceptable to me. And I want people to feel safe, and, you know, we're worried about a lot of other things about the downtown, but safety should be, our job is safety. Public safety is the number one job of the government and the police department. So, I would like to see more police up there. The busy, you know, kids getting out of school through that 3 o'clock time, getting out of.
Well, the mornings have been,
In the
and I
mornings.
will tell you that the chief has been up there in the mornings, because
Okay.
people have been flying right through,
Yeah.
going right past the little kids that are out in
Yeah.
the streets, so, and he's been up there, so.
I mean,
that's a good
obviously,
thing.
there's a reason that we've had to install lights by the post office, lights by the hospital, lights, but because people are not obeying the speed
No,
limit.
they're not.
So,
Okay,
thank you.
thank you. Bobby,
Okay, everyone acknowledged September financials, so thanks for that. I got word before packets went out that the state certified our audit, and then just today in the mail I got the letter that I gave to each of you showing that we had pretty much a flawless audit. So everything looks really great there. So that is fantastic news. I'm gonna pay our final audit bill and we won't have to worry about that for a couple more years. So we are good to go there. I recently had an annual meeting with a representative from Commercial and Savings that comes in and just kind of analyzes our security, talks to us about things that we could maybe improve on. And her focus this year, and I made a little bit of a memo for you guys to, there's a couple of things that they really would recommend that we begin using when it comes to how we pay our bills. The first is a program that they offer called Positive Pay. And so basically, to summarize it, just in real simple terms, and I can answer more questions if you guys have them, but it is just a way of double checking each of the paper checks that we send out. We basically get that list to the bank, or the bank contacts us each day that a paper check clears our account, and they say, is this one good? So we check the payee, we check the amount, and we say either yes or no. And it's a really nice way. It kind of takes those checks, puts them in a place until we give them final approval. And the reason that that's necessary, they're kind of listed here. There's whitewashing that happens with checks. That's when people alter the checks and change the amounts on them. Checks can be forged, checks can be copied. So the safer we can be with our paper warrants or paper checks that go out, the better. There is a monthly service fee in addition to what we pay already. It is about $40 a month, I believe, is what I was told, and I think that that's well worth it in the scheme of things as far as security. We have a big security is always just a huge emphasis that we need to think about. So that's going to be the first thing that we'll talk about. The other is ACH. We don't use ACH payments for our vendors very often. We typically rely on paper warrants. And that's just getting more and more antiquated and less secure. So ACH is just basically paying some bills electronically. We set up limits with the bank. We set up our vendors with the bank. We get the vendors' banking information, and the payments go straight from our bank account to their bank account. There are some checks and balances that can happen there. So for example, if an ACH, we may set a limit of, say, $10,000. I'm just throwing this out there. And ACH is under that, can be authorized. We can, probably we would have legislation and we would say, okay, anything under 10,000 is authorized with just, typical as myself or Jessica puts in our banking and pays bills. If it's over a certain amount, we can require that our second signature, the second person on our account, because our account is set up with dual signatures, and we can require certain transactions to reach out to that second signer and get confirmation that payment can go through. So it's super safe. The reasons that it's safer than paper checks are all listed here. We already pay an ACH fee each month, so I would not expect that we would see much of any increase in the fees. And would also cut back on the amount that we spend on ordering boxes of paper checks each year. So, questions about that? Concerns?
Did there used to be some kind of a requirement for governmental agencies to do paper checks? That we weren't doing ACH before?
I think it differs from municipality to municipality,
Okay.
entity to entity even. Some have dual signatures that are required, others don't. So we do. And the way that we're set up right now, for a paper warrant, it does require that we have two signatures. So I'm the one signature, and then there are two council members that are the second signature. So there would be virtually no difference. Nate's gonna always see the purchase orders, so when we decide that we need to purchase something, that department head or one of us, whoever's doing the purchasing, requests a purchase order. That goes to Nate. Nate looks at that, he signs off on it, it comes to me. I look at it, I sign off of it, it goes to Jessica. Jessica looks at it and she processes the actual purchase order, and it sits there until the bill comes. The bill comes, we then, right now, almost always what we do is each council meeting you see this bill resolution. So every 2 weeks, we typically pay our bills, and those are all paid with paper warrant right now. So all those checks and balances are going to stay in place, but the only difference would be is that the money is going straight from our account to safely to our vendors' accounts. So just a safer way. Does that make sense?
I guess I'm asking, had anything changed during the years to allow ACH?
Oh,
I mean,
I just know this. Most
Okay.
entities do.
Okay.
Most places. The county, for example, that's how we do business with them. They send us. We still send them checks. They send us ACHs when funds come in from different sources. So I would say, I don't have the statistics in front of me, but most entities are using ACH for a majority of their bill payment these days.
are these two things mutually exclusive, or can we be doing both of them?
Mutually exclusive.
Okay.
So yes, we can do one and not the other. Yeah. And you can set up ACHs. We can set it up so that the second signer on the account will go berserk if this is how we set it up. But it can be set up so that we initiate each ACH. I cannot speak. Each ACH here, and then the bank will not release it until they speak to and verify the identity of our second signer. It can be done. But the second signer is going to get calls about every day. So, but it can happen. We can do it that way.
So one of the options is to do the ACH and eliminate the second signer, is that what you're saying, or?
It wouldn't eliminate the second signer. Any warrants that go out are still going to have dual signatures. So there's still going to be that two signatures on each of the warrants. But ACH is, under a certain amount. We can set that, I'll talk to Stephanie at the bank and see what those limits typically are. But, ACH, payments under a certain amount would just go out with, so there would still be dual control, it would just be here. So, and it would actually be 3. So Nate's still gonna look at the POs and look at the payments as they occur. I'm gonna look at it, authorize, Jessica to initiate the ACH, when it's time to pay that bill. So there are still gonna be 3 of us within the office here, looking at each and every payment that goes out. So,
Any other questions?
so we don't have to decide. I was kind of thinking that maybe we would start this at the beginning of the year, just like wrap this year up and get it all done. So we have a little time to think about this. And I'll look into if legislation is needed, if we need to do a resolution, and all that. I just wanted to make sure that there weren't any major red flags for you guys or major questions before, put a whole lot of additional work into it. What were you gonna say? I'm sorry.
You're fine. Can you set up exceptions if you set it like $5,000? Can you
Yeah.
set up an exception like all care insurance? You could,
Oh, that's a good question. Like
you-
per
you could-
vendor.
yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because we know what that is each month, so you
Sure.
can do that
sure.
without bringing it here.
Yeah, that's a
I mean,
really good question. I'm gonna guess that you can, but I would have to ask Stephanie about that. over
Because
the
everything
week.
else on the bill resolutions, like 5,000 or less, with the exception of Playmore, which was sort of a unique thing
Yeah,
as well,
Yeah.
so.
and those unique things like that, that's a really good. I think that's a great time to leave some limits in place. We paid Playmore more than we pay most of our vendors on a monthly basis. So I think an extra call to our second signer on the account's a really great idea in a case like that. So, but yes, I'll
I'm
find
assuming
out.
they can do that electronically too. I mean,
What's that?
I'm assuming they can do that electronically too.
Um,
I mean, I
I'm
get
not
I
sure
get
when we-
transfers that
yeah,
they email me and say, yes, I approve this transfer, no, I don't. So you don't necessarily get a phone call, you can get a.
that's true too. We can probably set it up that way. Maybe just like a login type thing where you have to, is that what you do? Or they
No,
do it
it's
through
just
email?
email directly to
Oh.
me, and then I either approve or disapprove it.
So it's a secure email that
Right.
comes from, okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. Because I was going regular email, that doesn't sound good. But secure email from the bank, it goes into its own special little inbox, and yeah, you have to log in for that, so, yeah. All right, so I'll gather some more info, and unless anybody's gonna object to either of these things, I think they're both great ideas, and we'll get some more info before the end of the year. Sound good? Okay. Last thing, I heard some really great news on Friday. Scared me a little bit. The lead off when I last talked to Mike Summers from Hummel Group was that he was getting some numbers back for his renewals for the beginning of 2026, and he led off with some of these numbers: 59% increase, 55% increase, 49% increase, and 61% increase. So I was, of course, sweating bullets. And just Friday, they've done some negotiation, and just Friday, they gave us the news that our dental increase will be 1%, and our medical increase will be 2%.
Wow, that's amazing.
That is the reason to have a cookie for Kelly's birthday.
Yes,
too.
right.
So
That
I
is
just wanted to share that. We didn't get it in writing yet. It takes Alt Care a few days from the time that it's agreed upon to get that information to me to sign off on. So, but it's coming. So that's great news. And that's all I have.
Okay, thank you.
Good job on the audit.
Thanks. Thank you. I was nervous. I thought, well, I'm 1 year into fiscal officership, so I was expecting to have made, at least some sort of error, but I guess I didn't, which is great.
That's awesome. Solicitor, we have something for executive session. Otherwise, we don't have anything. Upcoming committee meetings. One of the things that is, I guess it's a little bit farther down. We'll just wait for that for new business. Committee reports. Ruth Waltman would like to be on the Tree City Committee, and so I would like a motion to approve her for Tree City. That's
So
okay
moved.
with you guys?
Second.
Is that Vaughn for the motion?
Yeah.
Sorry. And second was Hofstadter?
No.
Nope. Con. Sorry. I need eyes up here. All right. Vaughn.
Aye.
Con.
Aye.
Kellogg.
Aye.
Hofstadter.
Aye.
Pullen. Shoemaker.
Aye.
Okay, thank you very much.
And is that effective immediately or beginning?
That
next
is
year?
effective immediately because we need people on Tree City. Okay, we have legislation, Resolution 2025-23 by title only, third reading and passage, a resolution authorizing the mayor to sign the annexation agreement with Jordan Properties LLC and Hardy Township trustees. Are there any questions? Okay, hearing none, can we have a motion to pass?
So moved.
Second, Khan.
Hofstadter.
Aye.
Sorry. Con.
Aye.
Kellogg.
Aye.
Pullen. Vaughn.
Aye.
And Shoemaker.
Aye.
Okay, so Resolution 2025-25, we are going to table that because we have gotten a lot of flip-flopping from Bob Hines on this. He had read through everything, did his research, said it was fine, then called, said it wasn't fine, then called back and said it was fine. So we decided to table this and discuss it with the new solicitor if you guys decide to vote on one, so that we can just have some confirmation instead of going back and forth and not knowing, okay? So we'll move on down to ordinance 2025-105 by title only, a second reading, an ordinance to authorize the sale of municipal tangible personal property through the internet. Are there any questions? Okay, Resolution 2025-27 by title only, first reading, a resolution to adopt a revised indigent burial policy for Oak Hill Cemetery. Are there any questions? Okay, ordinance 2025-106 by title only, first reading, an ordinance to revise section 185.02 of the Millersburg ordinances, the transient occupancy tax. Are there any questions? Okay. All right, we will get into old unfinished business. We will start with insurance agent of record, Andrea.
Okay. So I will explain to council and to the public why I wanted to discuss this. So, right around, I think September 30th, I had received some phone calls. Kelly had done a live and had said something into the public about something elected official and something about insurance. And it wasn't me.
It was not you.
But I wanted to know what was going on. I got phone calls because people thought it was me. And so I came to planning and zoning the next night and wanted to know what was going on. And Councilman Bob Shoemaker kind of explained to me what was going on. So he had public record requested some stuff and I wanted to see it. And was this in the packet to everybody,
Yeah.
this email exchange? Okay.
No, it was not.
Oh,
It was
just to council.
Okay. So, in August, starting in August, and I'm not going to go into big detail to the public, but on August 13, an email was sent from Bobby to Nathan Troyer, and to Kelly Hoffey, and CC'd on it was Jessica Kiner and Chad Klein. And it had to do with the broker for health and dental life insurance. And Bobby was talking to Nate and Kelly and talking about the bad customer service that she'd experienced maybe over the course of the last year with the Huntingtons and wanted to maybe switch over to Hummel. And then there was a response by Nate that said that I agree changing brokers doesn't require council approval. I say go for it since Huntington's service has fallen off the map. And then Kelly responded, I agree that the level of service we had been receiving from Huntington is no longer present, and it appears that Hummel is eager and committed to working with us. I think we should proceed with Hummel. So I want you to understand that I accept that council, this was something that could have been done without council's approval. But I will explain to you that in my 22 months of being on council, and I'm elected, that I feel, so I ran on transparency. And I ran on that as an elected official, I would like to be in the know as much as I can about what's going on in this village and not find out something until I get to a council meeting. So I guess what I'm asking is that what was concerning to me about the email was there was this discussion about whether council needed to know. So had this just all been done and council doesn't need to know,
Who said that?
I agree changing brokers doesn't require council approval.
Right. We didn't say you didn't need to know.
Okay, so
You
I-
knew at the very, very next council meeting.
Well,
told you
I
this.
guess though, what I'm asking is this what I would like, as long as I'm on council, I don't know about the other 5. But if CCs can go to Chad and Jessica, why couldn't we have been CC'd on this exchange even if we didn't? Why? Because, and I'm just gonna say this, there are times we vote on things in here that don't make sense to me. So shutting down the roads for the festivals, or voting on whether a church can have an egg hunt at the thing. What would it hurt that when to be CC'd on some things? Even if we don't, even if the approval, even if it doesn't need our approval, what would have been hurt for us to have been in the loop back in August to at least know and then not find out at the next council meeting? Or what's the harm?
You're gonna get a lot of emails, Andrea.
Well, can I say then that
I don't know how else to say it.
insurance is big. Insurance is a big one. Or changing insurance. I mean, I understand that.
No, we did not change insurance.
We did
No,
not change
no.
insurance.
The brokers. Am I?
No, I think, I understand what you're saying, and I think that that would be fine, as long as Bobby would put, please don't respond, because the minute 2 of you respond, it's now a public meeting.
Oh, I would.
So, I'm fine with that, 100%, as long as all of you are aware that when that happens,
It's
don't be
information.
responding, huh?
It's information.
It's just information,
Yeah.
don't
And if you
respond, don't
just
even
put
say,
that.
okay, got it, because the minute 2 of you, it becomes a public meeting, and then we're looking at sunshine.
Well, I
law.
guess this wouldn't have become an issue had I'm not getting phone calls as to what's going on in the village because there's stuff, you know, I wouldn't
Not
even-
for you, but it had become an issue here.
It was a big issue.
But you
Yeah.
understand, I'm getting phone
Yeah.
calls and I don't even know what's going on.
Yeah.
Right, right,
So-
but it wasn't you, so,
But people thought I was in trouble, so I trying to find out what's happening. So it wasn't me.
yeah,
Please, do you
I just-
understand?
yeah.
You guys just call me and ask me questions anytime. I think you all would know that by now. Like, I think that's. You can call anytime, and I think you all know that. I think I've probably gotten a call from every single one of you, or a text, or an email, and I'm always willing to answer questions and be completely like I'm an open book, completely. So I absolutely will. I think if we could maybe talk a little bit more about the types of things that
Okay.
you want CC'd
That's fair.
on. There's a lot of communication that we do just to run things on the daily. You
Because
know?
I probably wouldn't have known anything about this had it not gotten out there into the,
Wow, that's good.
so I
I'm
wouldn't have known.
glad. I sure was.
I
There was a
wouldn't-
few
I
of
wouldn't
us
have
that
known.
heard a lot about it. So but needless to say, yes, I will. If you give me an idea, because I mean, you really don't want me to send you emails about.
I don't like
decision
emails, you
making.
know I don't email.
I know.
I don't like them, I don't
I
text
know.
them, I don't like anything, because I
And-
like doing it in person.
And even for those who don't mind reading emails, boy, you don't want an email on every
Well,
single
like I
decision that we
said,
make
what
each day.
I'm getting phone calls and I didn't know what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't know. I was out,
Yeah.
and so then You know, I
Did you call and
find,
ask though when you got a phone call to find out what was going
No.
on? I mean,
No
I
one
got
called me.
this, so that told me. So I was given this.
Cause I just know as a management, you know, from prior administration, it's gonna be tough to decide what you want to know and what you don't want to know, and putting the burden then, hey, you didn't send me this, but you sent me that, and,
Do you agree though, as elected officials, we should know as much as we should know?
well, we were informed about it.
And they were hired to take care of things
Right.
in here, and that's what they're doing.
That's how I feel about it too.
I agree. I was not offended at all that I didn't know
Yeah.
about it. I mean, to me, it was a normal administrative decision. She had a question about something, she went to two other people and picked their brain about what they thought it was. They came to an agreement, nothing changes with the insurance.
Well, I understand that. But there's
I was
some
not
things
offended at
that
all.
we are in here voting on, like I said, some decisions that are being made that seem minuscule to me, that we're sitting in here voting on.
We had that discussion
Yeah.
specifically
Yeah.
about the parks, and I agree.
I mean, I don't know why we're voting on it,
There's
when
times
I don't know why we're
understand
voting
what
on
I'm
stuff
allowed
like
to
that.
do and what I'm not.
Well, and I thought we resolved that you don't need
Yeah.
a council, so.
Yeah.
Did you have
But
something?
guys historically. have-
Can you come up to the microphone, please? Just state your name for us.
Hi, I'm Ryan Hirschberg. So I saw the video that Mayor Hoffy put out, and I, you know what, I love what she does. I mean, I don't have a problem. I've watched her videos, and they're all, but I think that if that video wasn't made, maybe none of the phone calls would have been made. That's all I'm saying. So I'm not asking, just not doing it. But, you know, I get, since I'm running for council, obviously I get, you know, people talking to me too, and they see a video like that, they're like, what's going on? So it's not a knock on your video. I promise you I'm not knocking on your video. But when you said the past administration, they didn't go on Facebook Live and talk about it either, Tom. So don't stop doing what you're doing. But in this world we're living in, social media, it just blows up, as you know. And so people, one thing I keep telling people all the time as I'm running is watch these council videos. Because these videos do not lie with what's being said, no matter what it is. So
Right.
that's all I'm asking. So,
Right.
but I'm not knocking on that. I'm just,
No, I understand, 100%.
I've watched your Facebook, you know, I've never listened to something you have said, but I think that's kind of what, that video you did in the middle of the afternoon, I think that's kind of set off a frenzy, and I'm not blaming you, but I'm just saying, just as a person that hears hearing it from people as I'm running. So, thank you.
Yeah. thank
My
you.
comment was more general, not specific to that issue.
Yeah. And that's fine, and we can 100% say, please don't respond to this is just informational, and then you guys will all know what's going on. That's fine.
I'm not trying to make your job harder, but like I said,
I understand. It's been a rough couple of weeks for all of us. Okay, anything else on that insurance agent of record? Okay. Smart traffic lights. I got an email from ODOT. I gave it to all of you guys. Some information. Her information is at the bottom of that email. If you have further questions, yes.
I'm happy to call ODOT and follow up with where in Claremont County they've installed that.
Okay.
And then try to reach out to them to get true feedback or comparison to what they're talking about.
Okay.
Yeah, I had a little bit of, not trying to, they're talking about radar detection. I'm more interested in what the control end of that is.
Yeah.
What, that feeds into a controller. What are they using for a controller? That's what we need here.
Yeah. Well, when I called her, that's what I asked for, but
Yeah.
then I know that they had received a couple of calls from the commissioners, and I think that she was like, let's get this information out. And so, yeah, any of you are more than welcome. You can email her, call her, reach out to her if you have any additional questions. And if you want to do that and bring that back to the next council meeting so we can discuss that, that would be great.
One thing, isn't Claremont County very populated? Huge?
yeah. Yeah, it's pretty challenging.
Yeah, it's in southeast Ohio, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Southwest. Very,
So,
very
yeah.
populated.
New water bill system. Nate, do you have information on that?
just that it's delayed again. We're,
Oh, my.
what, one of 3 trainings has been done?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We're just waiting on them to finalize the trainings and implement.
So normal paying of the water bills
Yep.
for this month.
And it is not us delaying it,
Yeah,
it's the
no.
vendor.
No,
We're kind of at their mercies.
right. Landscaping bids, how are we doing with that?
They've been out, we haven't received any yet.
Okay,
October 31st is the deadline on that.
okay. Missing speed limit sign on East Jackson. Brent had asked about that at the last council
Yeah,
meeting.
ODOT was made aware of that.
Yeah,
They were gonna take care of
they're
that.
gonna work with me, they're aware of the signs. Okay. Very good. Very good, thank you.
Okay,
Are we
Um,
doing anything with the employee leave donation policy or Connect fee?
are we gonna do anything with that?
I would still like to see something like that in place at some point. It's nothing that we have to do right away. Obviously, we need a solicitor in place to be able to do that, because it gets
I think a
tricky.
good time to do that would be with the personnel or the
very true.
personnel
Yeah.
policy
Policy.
update.
Yeah.
Maybe
All of
combine
that
the
kind
two.
of got jerked to a halt for the last 3 months.
Is there thought not to do?
No,
it?
I
'Cause,
just,
I mean, if you guys don't wanna do it, that's fine, we won't waste our time on it either.
well, that's what I wondered, are we
Yeah.
gonna, I mean, is it your desire to continue with that?
Yes, I think it'd be something nice to have in place, but if there's not an
No,
appetite
I'm
for
fine
that,
with that.
I'm fine too.
Do you wanna update sidewalk project? Do you have anything in addition to what you already?
No, nothing
Okay.
other than, yeah.
Okay,
I guess I can briefly, we got the final invoice for the post office project, for the actual concrete work, sent that to the county for payment of permissive funds. Then I asked for an update on our, on our balance, and currently sitting just below 90,000 in our permissive fund balance, and we gain about 1,300 a month in that fund. Something to keep in mind for if we look at doing something with the traffic controls, the dynamic programming,
we could
potentially
use,
take part of it.
we could use 40,000 of that for the downtown traffic lights, and that would leave us 45,000
Okay.
for tax dollars. So that's an option if you guys wanna go that route. The good thing is it'll keep building back up.
Yeah.
And Nate and I talked, we don't want it to go down to
Yeah.
0,
No.
but if we could use half of it for that, then that would save the village.
It's kind of a nice emergency fund. If something happened, you have some money there.
Or like the post office idea, you know, it worked great for that.
People are using that.
They
I use
are, yeah, they are.
I punch it just about every time I go across because I want people to get used to
Get
the
the
idea
lights-
that there
the
can-
lights
that there
flashing.
can be lights that
Yeah.
are doing something.
Yeah, that's great.
I'm really pleased with how far south you can be and see the light.
Yeah.
It's,
Yep,
it's
so.
very visible.
Yeah, it is. Indigent burial site, we're waiting for a date for that. And we're still waiting for Melway for, Jones Street and restriping on Port Washington and Glen
Yep.
Drive. Does anyone else have anything for the old business? New business. I would like to set a personnel meeting date. I wrote down who's on the personnel committee: Tom, Brad, Devon, Nate, Bobby, Chief, and myself. There are some personnel things that we need to discuss. So, Tom, Brad, Devon.
Do you have a topic or so which we're gonna cover?
Personnel.
Personnel. I
A little more specific.
Define the
don't
word.
know. I'm gonna say, police personnel and administrative personnel. That's all I'm gonna say.
You have a date in mind?
What day suits you guys the best?
It's a Monday, would have to go into November.
Okay, let's not do Monday. Tuesday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Second Tuesday of the month is bad for me. Any other Tuesday should work.
21st.
21st. Okay. 6. Devon, does that work for you? Brad?
Yeah, sure.
21st at 6?
And we can do it earlier if we want.
5? Well, let's go 6. Is that okay?
That's fine.
Okay. 6 p.m., October 21st. Nate, is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, thank you. All right, ODOT snow and ice. Nate, do you want to talk about that?
Just the legislation.
Yes.
Yeah, that's just for the, brine, to be able to buy brine from ODOT. Go down to the garage and buy it here locally versus having to make it ourselves. It's a much nicer setup.
Are there any questions or discussion on that? Anyone else have any new business? Any visitors wish to address council?
That's what I was just, do we need to actually, we should probably have a formal motion on that, authorizing Kelly to sign that MOU with ODOT.
I'll make
Okay.
a motion, Con.
Second.
Khan,
Aye.
Hofstadter.
Aye.
Kellogg.
Aye.
Pulling. Vaughn.
Aye.
Shoemaker.
Aye.
Sorry,
Okay,
thank you.
that's okay. Go ahead.
Hi, everybody. Taylor Brining. I just want to give you a quick update on Dora. So far, I've been hearing really good feedback from the businesses, and a couple have purchased cups once again. So they purchased their initial cups, and some started with 50, some started with 250, and a couple of them have already purchased again. I did want to say, I'm not sure how we would need to do this or if it would be acceptable, but I talked to Kelly about it. And, excuse me. And the Antique Festival. So the Sunday of the Antique Festival, there were a couple of the restaurants and bars who had contacted me and said that they wish that they would have been able to sell on that Sunday with the parade. They said they could have probably sold like 30 plus drinks at each establishment. And right now Dora is Friday, Saturday, or Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So it does not include Sunday. I don't think we should change the hours of operation right away, but I think we should consider maybe like adding in Sunday, at least the Sunday of the Antique Festival. So I'm not sure how you would need to do that, but that was just a piece of feedback I heard about the Antique Festival. But otherwise, it went really good, and it's continuing to go good. And the downtown businesses are pleased with, what they're seeing, and yeah, that's really all I have.
All right.
Now, out of curiosity, Taylor, how many businesses have opted out? As I walk around, I've seen one red sticker.
I believe it's 2 to 3. A couple have started. They have the green sticker. They start with the green sticker, and they can opt out at any time. They just need to let me know. But they said as long as they have no problems, they'll just continue to allow that.
And is the Dora program only open to people to businesses that are members of Historic Downtown Millersburg?
No.
Because I noticed a number of storefronts don't have a sticker either way.
Yeah, a couple of them, like the office buildings, like Provision Tax Group or something, they're not gonna need a sticker. But other retail stores and the restaurants, I think one of them decided not to put a sticker up. Broken Grounds Coffee, they didn't want to put a sticker up. They don't really care either way, but they didn't want to say no or yes. So I don't really know how to handle that type of a situation. So I just said that they didn't have to for now. I don't know if that's the right answer. But yeah.
I was just curious as I've been walking around and looking at the different stores.
Yeah, some of them just did not put them up in time.
Okay.
that was another thing.
Okay.
But yeah, that's all.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
We will try and, hopefully we get a new solicitor and we can get some information on if it's possible for council to do, like a one-day special Dora.
Yeah.
We'll find out about that.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else have anything? Okay, at this time, would anyone like to make a motion for council to enter into executive session under Ohio Revised Code, section 121.22G1, to consider the appointment and employment of a new village solicitor?
I'll make a motion, Con.
Second.
Khan,
Aye.
Hofstadter,
Aye.
Shoemaker,
Aye.
Vaughn, Poland, and Kellogg.
Aye.